gateway to Oz. Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. It's the best part of Dorothy's dream.
Today Around Kansas starts with George Kaleb Bingham, a well-known regional artist. Next, we're calling all Beatles fans. We had the opportunity to interview George Harrison's sister, Louise, who shared the story of Liverpool Legends, the Beatles tribute band she helped to found. Then enjoy a poem from Ron Wilson, and we'll end with a look at some famous gravestones. Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, just a short drive down the Yellow Brick Road. It's really early in the morning. It's Wednesday, so it must be Around Kansas. I'm Frank.
I must be Deb.
And it is Around Kansas. Good morning. So
It's a beautiful fall so far.
it is. It's absolutely gorgeous here in Northeast Kansas.
It is. And, all the critters are getting ready to hibernate, and they get kind of a little antsy this time of year. And so my way of leading up to, I killed my first rattlesnake in western Kansas the other day. Actually shot him. And I just blew the buttons right off of him, so I couldn't save it. My friend Dina Anson said, "Did you get the buttons so you can put them on a necklace?" Well, Jake's got some from snakes he's killed over the years, and like, no, because I shot him right off because it was all coiled up. So the buttons were just too close to his head at that point when he was all coiled up.
Was it an Annie Oakley shot, or did you have to empty the chamber?
Oh, honey, it was sad. It was so pitiful, and I've got to get my eyes. I've got to get new contacts. It was sad. Jake is standing there just shaking his head.
So
that's a great lead-in into this. If you've got, my hometown of Oakley, so this is the Oakley graphic. The looking back 100 years, and most of the small town papers have these, and I love them. They're my favorites.
yeah, and so here's the story. Looking back 100 years ago today, treed by rattlesnakes for 9 hours. James Corbin, 9 years old, son of a stockman near here, was finally released when cowboys killed 16 rattlers in the rocks under the tree where the boy was perched. The boy was returning from school when he saw a big rattler across the path in front of him. Starting back along the path, he saw 2 more snakes. Surrounded. Okay. Then he climbed a tree and waited for the cowboys to say the snakes were making for the rocky bluff to hibernate for the winter. There's no telling what will happen if the reporter from the Journal had had 2 or more drinks. He would have been seeing boa constrictors in the jungles of India. This story is predicated on an item that appeared in the graphic last week, and it is stretched so far as to not be recognizable. We lied a little bit ourselves when we wrote it, but this gunk has a skinned a mile. So send us your stories. We'll have some fun.
They're great.
But see, I don't quite get that. I'm going to have to. But this gunk has a skinned a mile. That's.
I'm not sure
I don't
exactly
know
either. I don't.
I'll just read a part of this one because our director's
funny.
saying, wrap it up, guys. Anyway, the J.H. Eichmann shows appeared in this city Wednesday and were greeted by a fine crowd. Their performances were not as bad as might have been. In fact, people would probably have passed it over and called it a pretty fair, but for the fact that the employees around the show were a bunch of short-change artists, and we have heard at least a dozen people were victims of the thieving.
Man, not the kind of review you want to get in the local paper after your show comes through, is it? Yeah. Being in theater, you can appreciate that, can't you, Frank?
I love that show.
That's hilarious. Hey, we got a great show. Stay with us.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
ValleyVet.com, ValleyVet.
Lecompton. The name was splashed across newspapers throughout America and Europe. It was debated in the halls of Congress. Lecompton interprets its unique territorial history with 2 museums and other sites. Events throughout the year celebrate history and community. Visit the Territorial Capitol Museum, where more than 70 trees are displayed with thousands of antique and vintage ornaments, and be sure to stop in the gift shops in both Lecompton museums. Spend the day in historic Lecompton, shopping, eating, savoring the rich history.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Your stem cells, your health, your life. Back again. Well, I'm going to really be quiet now because she's got a whole bunch to say about a story coming up.
That's right. I got a whole lot to say.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to take a nap.
George Kaleb Bingham, but you're going to be riveted by this, Frank. So, George Kaleb Bingham, of course, the famous artist, regional artist, painted scenes along the Missouri River, just incredibly talented man. His most famous painting, though, is probably Orders Number 11, about the Jayhawkers, the federal forces, putting people in Missouri off their land following Quantrill's raid on Lawrence. So that painting made him very famous. It made Thomas Ewing infamous, just a lot of repercussions from that painting. Well, our friends at Wide Awake Films in Kansas City have done a mind-blowing documentary on the life of George Kaleb Bingham. And we are going to share the trailer with you in hopes that you can attend one of the screenings that is coming up. On October 15th, there is a screening at Arrow Rock State Park in Missouri. If you've never been to Arrow Rock, I can't recommend it highly enough. Beautiful, preserved village. And then October 27th at the Nelson Atkins Art Gallery. So 2 great opportunities to see it. You can order the DVD or the Blu-ray now. And Wide Awake, they've won umpteen Emmys. They must have a room just to hold their Emmys because they won so many. So it's a fine documentary. And if you're wondering what all that has to do with Kansas, of course, Kansas had an awful lot to do with Order Number 11 and the Missouri-Kansas border war. So Kansas plays a huge role in this story, and you're going to be blown away by this trailer and then by the film itself.
Let's see it.
It was supposedly found in an antique shop. It wasn't even signed.
He spotted it in the window, and he recognized it as a great, iconic masterpiece.
A masterpiece with the humblest of origins. He learned his trade from traveling painters. He wandered the country, painting elites and commoners, and anyone who could pay with gold or silver. But he made his name painting the river.
He helps us to understand who we are as a nation and how we came to think of ourselves as Americans.
He constructed an American identity out of that stuff of the frontier that had resonance on a national scale.
He ran for office and voiced his opinions on canvas. He filled those paintings with his friends and neighbors and enemies. There were more than a few of those. Many more after he dared speak out in a time when men were jailed or shot if they stood on the wrong side of a debate.
It's like this thirst for revenge overrides everything.
And it cost him money, jobs, prestige. What kind of man was he?
He's a Westerner.
Highly ambitious,
one of the very first American artists to make a national reputation.
He helps us to see where we've been and perhaps where we might go in the future.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome.
When your living depends on agriculture, you can depend on KFRM 550 AM. If you're in the southwest three-fourths of Kansas or the northern half of Oklahoma, catch us at 550 AM on the radio dial. But if that isn't you, listen on your cell phone at TuneIn Radio or on your computer at KFRM.com. We promise to keep you informed, entertained, and company as you go through your day. KFRM 550 AM, the voice of the plains. We would like to join your management team.
Buffalo Bill Cody earned his legendary title in Oakley. Bring the family and come celebrate Oakley's pioneering history and unique geography at two sites, the Buffalo Bill Cultural Center and the Fick Fossil Museum. Cody's statue marks his achievements and welcomes visitors to the Cultural Center. The Fick Fossil Museum houses world-class fossils and artifacts. You'll find Oakley at the hub of U.S. Highways 83 and 40 and I-70. Stop for the legend. Stay for the day. Discover Oakley. This segment brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Welcome back, folks. And while I was busy over in Missouri making documentary films, Frank was busy right here in Noto with, I tell you, Frank, I am so jealous. I was so sad I could not be in Topeka when you had George Harrison's sister in the Wren studios with you. So how did that come to pass?
Well, they asked us, TPAC asked us, would we be willing to speak with her and Marty, who in the Liverpool Legends plays George Harrison, and said, absolutely. And so it came to be. She showed up at the studio at 10 o'clock. On that Friday morning, and we spent about 20 minutes on the air talking to her. Well, I'll get to tell you about it. This story is not about someone from Kansas. In fact, she's from Liverpool, England. The story is that this reporter had the express honor to interview her on Wren Internet Radio. I'm talking about Louise Harrison. She's the sister of Beatle George Harrison. Yes, that Beatle. Louise Harrison was in Topeka with the Liverpool Legends, a Beatles reenactment band. It's a group that she and Marty Scott founded. Marty Scott portrays George Harrison in the Liverpool Legends. In 2001, Louise saw Marty portray George Harrison. She was so totally taken aback by his performance and how he looked and sounded so much like her late brother, and that was the lead to the founding of the Liverpool Legends in 2005. Harrison was an advisor to the group, which has performed in Branson, Missouri, and all over the world. I can't tell you how thrilling it was to actually sit next to and talk with the sister of one of the Beatles. The Beatles transformed the direction of pop music in 1964, and their popularity has transcended the generations ever since. Yes, the sister of Beatle George Harrison, Louise Harrison, and I got to meet her.
Person who's involved in ag production and cattle ranching, Bill Rischel here in North Platte, told me about Kansas regenerative medicine. And after talking to Dr. Pope, we did a lot of reading and researching, looking on the internet about it. I guess the thing that impressed me is that he told me, he said, if we don't think it's going to help you, we're not going to do it. I thought that was a very good approach. I'm a former athlete, played college basketball, Played overseas after college. Had some severe trauma on the right ankle, right knee, joint in my hand also. This brace is what I had to wear all the time. Now I don't wear this during the day. That's a real improvement for me. My knee doesn't bother me. This joint came around quick. It was the first thing I noticed improving. You can see in the background here there's different fish and game that I hunt. The ability to walk was impacting my outdoor endeavors. I think it's really valuable, and encourage anybody that's interested to go down and at least do a consultation with them.
Here's another gardening tip with Annette Jackson from Jackson's Greenhouse.
Fall is the best time to fertilize cool season lawns such as fescue or bluegrass. Fertilome Lawn Food Plus Iron is the best product available, formulated specifically for the Midwest.
It also contains iron and other micronutrients necessary for the greenest lawn in your neighborhood. Bring in a soil sample for a free pH test while you wait. We'll see you at Jackson's.
Our entire stock of shrubs, roses, berries, perennials, and trees are now on sale at 25% off.
Jackson's Greenhouse has what you need today.
Fort Wallace stood on the frontier in the midst of the Plains Indians Wars on a major stage route and rail line. Beside the 1865 stagecoach station, a modern museum with thousands of artifacts tell that story, like the fossil of a 40-foot plesiosaur is suspended from the ceiling. Located on Highway 40 midway between Hayes and Colorado Springs, the Fort Wallace Museum is as welcome a sight today as the fort itself in the 1860s. Discover the fightingest sport in the West. This segment brought to you by Kansas Grain Sorghum, growers working together. Find out more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
One of the great things about multi-generational farms or 4-H clubs is that it's a family affair. It's a time when parents help kids work on their projects and learn. In horse shows, for example, we know that for every kid in the ring, there's an anxious mom or dad or grandma or granddad helping outside the ring. This is a tribute to those horse show moms. Here's to the horse show mom, that loving mother who has a daughter who thinks horse shows are the thing that she should do. So her daughter starts her 4-H project with a single older horse and embarks on a path which takes her on a wondrous course. Here's to the horse show mom, who gently nags and reminds that the show's in a few weeks and her daughter shouldn't get behind. Here's to the horse show mom, who rolls out through the cactus and drives the family van to yet another practice. Here's to the horse show mom, who gathers tack and supplies in hopes that her daughter can win an elusive prize. Here's to the horse show mom, studying the rules of the show and hitching up the trailer, getting everyone ready to go. Here's to the horse show mom, who digs down in her purse to find a missing hair tie or a safety pin or worse. Here's to the horse show mom, who sits up in the bleachers commenting on the judge or the other horse's features. Here's to the horse show mom, hauling feed or carrying water while arena dust blows or as temperatures get hotter. Here's to the horse show mom, who will save to pay the debenture for the feed bill and the gas for her daughter's equine adventure. Here's to the horse show mom, who checks the pattern out and brings the snacks to share with the other moms about. Here's to the horse show mom, who has horses as her passion, who's always shopping for the latest in horse and rider fashion. Here's to the horse show mom, who calms the pre-show fears and gives a comforting hug or wipes away some tears. Here's to the horse show mom, who thanks the Lord above that her daughter has this interest in a horse to work and love. Whether winning or losing, this mother handles it with aplomb. So let's all give thanks for the horse show mom. And when the horse show's over, after a long, tiring weekend, the horse show mom knows next week she'll do it all again. Happy trails.
Watch Ag AM in Kansas online at agaminkansas.com. Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
Support Kansas agriculture education with an AgriTag. AgriTags are available anytime at your county treasurer. They look great on cars and trucks. For more information, go online to ksagclassroom.org.
The new Better Horses Network is worldwide. Presented by Lucas Oil. Featuring worldwide radio and TV with iconic hosts like Al Dunning, Sharon Camarillo, Ernie Rodina, Lindy Birch, and Craig Cameron. With American Cowboy, Horse and Rider, Brushy Creek, Cavenders, and Ride TV. Worldwide radio and TV. The all-new Better Horses Network.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter. Here we are again, go again, whatever it is.
Going, gone.
Yeah.
So when you're gone, how would you like to be remembered, Frank?
Well, there you go.
What would you like?
That wasn't even meant to be a segue into what she's going to talk about next.
We're so good.
I know.
Of course, you've been around as long as we have. So the epitaphs, of course, this is October, so people's minds turn to tombstones, of course. So they always fascinate me, from the time I was a kid. I loved visiting cemeteries. And so how people choose to be remembered or how their family chooses to remember them, those final words, that's pretty important. So what are you going to put on? What are you going to put on yours, Frank?
I have no idea. I was here, now I'm gone. I don't know.
Think about it a lot. And my friends in Philly, they are on the board of the cemetery there at Laurel Hill, and Carol's always joking that Andy's going to put his resume on the side, all the wonderful things he's done, and all about how he portrayed General Meade and all that'll be. And she said it'll take, $10,000 to carve all that into the side. So it's very interesting. Of course, one of my favorites is from out at Dodge City. Here lies Lester Moore, 4 slugs from a 44, no less, no more. That's one of my favorite ones. So I don't know if anything in my life will inspire anything that clever.
Yeah, people don't do that anymore. It used to be. Like you say, it's fun to go back into the old part of cemeteries and see what's there.
See what they say. So, and it certainly won't take much to put on my resume. So that won't take, 10 letters or something. But let's take a look at how some famous people chose to be remembered.
It's October, and our thoughts turn to pumpkins, falling leaves, and gravestones. Yes, whether made of marble or iron, they are often artistic and beautiful. The words carved there, essentially our very last words, are pretty important. Let's see what a few folks left for us to ponder. The body of Benjamin Franklin, printer, like the cover of an old book, its contents worn out, and stripped of its lettering and gilding, lies here, food for worms. Yet the work itself shall not lost, for it will, as he believed, appear once more in a new and more beautiful edition, corrected and amended by its author. The epitaph for Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, creator of Sherlock Holmes, simply reads, "Steel true, blade straight." Dean Martin, that funny man with a voice like silk, crooned one last time, "Everybody loves somebody sometime." Another sweet sentiment is expressed on the stone of Bonnie Parker, of Bonnie and Clyde fame. As the flowers are all made sweeter by the sunshine and the dew, so this old world is made brighter by the lives of folks like you. And while we're on outlaws, Jesse James lies just over the line in Missouri, and his untimely death is recounted on his marker, which says, "Murdered by a traitor and a coward, whose name is not worthy to appear here." Of course, if we listened to the song or watched Brad Pitt's The Assassination of Jesse James, we know that the dirty little coward who shot Mr. Howard was Bob Ford. Some of the markers bear warnings, like this one, belonging to a dentist. "Stranger, approach the spot with gravity. John Brown is filling his last cavity." So, dear viewer, now that you are inspired, go forth in the brisk October air to the graveyard and read the last words of those gone before. Just make sure you're home before dark.
Time to go. I'm Frank.
I'm Deb.
And we'll see you somewhere around Kansas.
Welcome to Kansas, gateway
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.
Hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. We're the best part of Dorothy's dream.